a Sapphire Running Zone podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Tim from the Sapphire Running Zone. Welcome to another podcast, and today we're chatting to Stuart, who has embarked on the Couch to 5K, did that well. He found it really rewarding, and went on to do a half marathon and is planning the Great North in September. So welcome, Stuart. Give us a little bit of your running history and tell us where you are.
Hi, Tim. Thanks for having me on. So my name's Stuart and I'm from the Isle of Man. I used to do 800 meters at school and across country, which I was quite good at. But then when I left school, I never really did any running after that. It was just time when you get into work and you just sort of lose all your sports, what you used to do. So I've just found running again and loving it.
It's quite common that, isn't it, that people did a lot at school and then sort of don't do anything for years. What got you back into it?
Back in September, we got watching the Great North Run, and my partner works for the Great North Air Ambulance Service, which cover the Isle of Man, and we were just watching it because we knew a couple of people there running, and it just looked such great fun and a great community atmosphere there. So I thought, well, I said to my partner, it looks great fun, and when the entries came out for it, she applied, and I was picking a friend up for the sea terminal and had an email come through saying congratulations for signing up. So I've got her to blame for all this, but yeah, she signed me up for the Great North Run. Yeah, I downloaded the Couch to 5 NHS app and had a friend called Joe who gave me a bit of advice to basically go to a place called Up and Running and have my gait analysis done and just get proper trainers and socks and basically start with the Couch to 5K and see how you got on. So the first day of that was like run for 60 seconds and then walk for 90. And it was 7 sets of those. And after day one, I thought, bloody hell, am I going to complete this to get to 5K? It was so hard and just totally out of breath. Yeah, completely knackered and just couldn't see myself doing 5K. When you got into it, it just felt easier a bit more and you get your breathing a bit better and I suppose your lungs get stronger. But yeah, the first day was horrendous. Probably the end of the first week, I felt better than I did certainly than the first day. And I would say probably week 3, I thought it was starting to improve. And then once you get your breathing better, I did feel better in myself and felt like it was going to go to 5K. But yeah, so yeah, it was certainly hard.
And what else did you do with in your lifestyle to complement it?
So we changed the way we eat slightly. We eat more healthily, and we cut out all the bad foods like chocolate, crisps, biscuits. Biscuits I absolutely love. So it was so hard to stop eating biscuits, but I feel by stop eating that sort of things, it made me feel better in myself, more healthy. I got to week 5, run 1 on the Couch to 5K, and my friend Jo, she said, "How about coming to try a Parkrun, 5K Parkrun?" Because you can walk it and you can run it, so you could still do your Couch to 5K in that if you can't run it all. But it just to give it a go and see how you feel. So that Saturday, I went to Nobles Park and did my first park run, and I was surprised that I completed the whole lot without basically stopping or walking. So I did the first 5K then, which was really amazing, and it amazed myself that I could do it, and I felt really good after that. That yeah, I achieved to run 5K in that basically in 5 weeks. So very shocked.
Yeah, you did really well. How many have you done since?
So I've done, I think it is 17,
Wow,
and
that's really good.
I think I've had 14 PBs in that. So
Gosh, that's fantastic. So pretty much every time you go, you're knocking
yeah,
a few seconds off your previous time.
yeah. So the first one was 36 minutes, and then my last PB 2 weeks ago was 21:25.
Wow. God, that's really good. God, what an incredible improvement over such a short period of time.
I just gradually went to like 7K once a week and then carried on with the 5 and then just increased it. Um, middle to the end of January, I started doing 10Ks all the time. And then in February, I thought because I was ahead of where I thought I was going to be, I thought if I maybe increase it slightly, I'll enter the half marathon, which was in March, the Ramsey half marathon. I thought if I enter that, then I'll maybe just increase the amount I'm running gradually, and maybe I'll be able to do the half marathon. So that's how I basically increased the mileage and got up to the half marathon distance. October the 5th, I started, and then it was November the 22nd, I think it was. I did the first Parkrun. The first 10K, it must have been the end of December, I think it was. In fact, I think it may well have been Boxing Day, the first 10K I did.
Right, so Stuart, give me a little bit more detail about the half marathon you did.
So basically, it starts off in the West Quay area, and then you do 2 laps of the town, all on closed roads, and then you head out over the swing bridge all the way along the promenade.
Not a lot of crowd support.
Not a lot, just really in the town centre, and the odd corner around the course there was a few spectators, but mostly in the town where the start and the finish was.
Did you have a time in mind and a sort of race day strategy in mind?
Just thought, I'll see how I feel. Obviously, I was nervous, so I just thought I'd just go at it how I think and set myself at a pace to start with and see how I get on, and then maybe increase it. I wanted to do it in a time of 2 hours, which was in my head. So I sort of started off 5-minute pace for a kilometre, and then it just gradually improved, and I just felt really good. And there was a 2-hour pacemaker out there, and there was an hour and 45 pacemaker. I could hear these footsteps in the background getting closer and closer, and I had a quick glance behind, and I saw it was a guy in the green t-shirt and a group of runners. Anyway, they caught up with me, and then when I looked over to his back of his shirt, they have the times written on because it's one of the pacers, and his shirt said 1 hour 45. So I thought, well, if I can stick with this guy, um, give it all I've got and stick with him, and then maybe I can finish in that 1:45. Um, so I managed to keep up with him. You come back along the prom towards the finish, and coming back along the prom, they were just edging away from me because I was getting a bit tired, and I could just see them in the distance. Anyway, I'd come across the swing bridge again for the final time along to the final straight, and just sprinted to the finish, and managed to get the 1:45. And I spoke to the pacer at the end, and he said that he paced everybody at 1:43. So anybody that did get tired towards the end would probably get a 1:45. So that's what happened with me. So it was great that he did that, and I just thanked him so much for doing what he did.
They're amazing, these paces, aren't they? How they can get it to pretty much exactly that time. It's really impressive. What was your feeling like when you lined up on that start line?
I was just very, very nervous. I've never felt really nerves like it before. It was just, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a very strange feeling, but I think maybe excitement as well as being nervous, and obviously crowds of people there running. But once I initially started, those nerves just went away and just cracked on with a pace that I was happy with. And like I say, they caught up, and then I just stuck with them to the end. So, but I must admit, my legs towards the end were like jelly, and I came across the finish, and there was a couple of times I nearly fell over just because they were so worn out. But now I know what to work on for the Great North Run, hopefully, and then do a similar time or a bit quicker.
And what about your race nutrition? What did you do with gels and taking on water, all that kind of stuff?
So I had a banana before I started, and then I took 3 gels with me, and I had one of the waters with the carry handle in that I took with me as well. But I find that so hard to drink while you're running. It's if I needed it, it was there. So that's what I yeah, that's what I did for the prep for the run.
Yeah, and tell us what that feeling was like when you came down the home straight.
It was amazing just to see the finished arch there, and it was just, yeah, just give it all me, everything I had left in me. I just gave it me all, and yeah, finished in a good time.
No, you did incredibly well, given the fact that you'd done no running up until October for God knows how many years, and to do a 1:45 is absolutely unbelievable. Given that you started in October, you did a half marathon in March. Shouldn't the next thing be a marathon then, not a half marathon?
Uh, at the moment, the marathons aren't really appealing to me. I don't know if it's just because of the distance, but I'll say never, but we'll see what happens in the future. I did a 5K and a 10K Easter festival running, which we had on the Isle of Man. So that was yeah, like a 5K distance, a 10K, and then they did a fell running 10K, which I didn't do that. I just did the 5 and 10K races, which was freezing cold, ice cold wind, and yeah, it was quite hard, but it was another good event. I enjoyed it.
And what have you got scheduled between now and September?
So just keep up my running. I will probably do another couple of half marathon distances before the Great North Run, but I haven't got anything else planned now until that event, because I want to make sure, because that was my first event initially. I don't want to do anything else now. Fingers crossed I don't get any injuries, and just focus my attention on the Great North Run and complete that, and then do more half marathons going forward after that, which I've already signed up to do the Middlesbrough half marathon next March. So that's already in the calendar.
Okay, okay. Talk us through planning for Great North Run. You've got an entry via the charity. So talk to us about the charity.
So it's the Great North Air Ambulance Service that are in the UK. They've got two bases, one in Teesside, which is where the headquarters is, and then they've got another one in Penrith. That helicopter from Penrith will come over to the island if there's accident or someone needs critical care. Then they will come over to the island. It takes about 30 minutes to get here from Penrith. And you've always got a doctor on board, either one or two paramedics, and they can land at the scene, and then get those people treated and taken off into a hospital in the UK if they need to for treatment. But it's a fabulous service. So my partner works for the Great North Air Ambulance on the Isle of Man, and she signed me up for the Great North Run through the Great North Air Ambulance. So it was a bit of a shock when she applied for me, and so I've got Manny to thanks for getting me running and losing weight, being by my side and giving me lots of support. So it's all thanks to Manny for that.
And it is what you need, Stuart. It's very hard to go on this sort of running journey if you haven't got support domestically. That's, again, a good learning for people that are taking up running. You need the support at home. You need the support at
Yeah.
home when you're training for a big event, because if you don't have that support, it does make things much more difficult. If you've got someone by your side who's encouraging you all the time, there may be days when you don't want to go out for a run, but you need someone there saying, come on, don't give it up. Just keep pushing. It's really, really important. So
Yeah.
it sounds like you've got that, which is great. The running club. And that's quite similar in a way, really. It gives you that motivation, and you don't want to be letting people down. So what's being part of that running club done for you as during this running journey?
Yeah, so it's helped me progress to where I am now. I think really, it's just I first joined the club. I started off in the club doing the 5Ks with them. There's about, I say, 30 regulars that go, and started off in the 5K group for a number of weeks, and then I then progressed to the 10K group, which it's just such a community event. It's you start on the 10K, but if there's anybody that is slightly at a slower pace, then we wait for everybody to catch up. There's no pressure there to being fast or slow, or everyone is in it for the same reason, keeping fit, and just keep running. And it's been a great support for me, just the community side of it. They're all encouraging. they all give you good feedback, give you help if you need it, in tips what sort of training to do, which is how I've then gone on to strength training, is from some of those saying, it keeps you a bit stronger in different areas, which has definitely helped me. I can feel the difference by doing the strength training. You can go longer and longer for doing it, so it's definitely helped. And having that community side, and we do a 10K or 5K run on a Tuesday night. You start at a pub and then you finish at the same pub, and then you have a drink and a chat. So it is a great community feel, and it's what's needed.
Yeah, and some of those guys will be joining you at the Great North Run, will they?
Yeah, so there's 29 of us on the island, from the running club that are actually doing the Great North Run in September. So
Yeah, it'll certainly be a little bit busier than the one in Ramsey, that's for sure. It is hard sometimes to sort of prepare yourself for the scale of an event like the Great North Run, but given the progress you've made, it feels like the next natural step for you. So given how far you've come in such a short period of time, what would be your tips for beginners? You've mentioned strength training. What else would you recommend to people?
well, I think just if you're just starting out, then definitely do the couch to 5K, because it gradually builds you up. I mean, especially after that first day when I didn't think I'd be able to run 5K, but now seeing where I've come, that is definitely, I would say, the route to take, because you're doing it gradually, and there's no rush to get it done. There's plenty of time to do it, and just give it a go. It's definitely worth it. And if I can do it at 51, I think anybody could do it if they put their mind to it. It's just the determination and the willpower, definitely willpower, to get yourself off the sofa, and even just go out for 5 or 10 minutes is better than nothing at all.
And how's the fundraising going?
I've got a Just Giving page that I've set up, and all the funds from that will go back to the Great North Air Ambulance Service. But yeah, so I've got all that set up ready and got people sponsoring. So it's good. Gives you more motivation as well by people sponsoring you.
Yeah, so you've raised funds already, have you?
Some funds, yeah.
Brilliant,
I've not
fantastic.
started pushing it, but I've got it set up, and yeah, some people have already sponsored me, so which is great.
Well, given that your partner works for them, you're going to have absolutely no excuse, are you, not to raise the amount? She's going to be on your case 24/7, isn't she?
It is definitely, yeah. But I've got
And
her to
what?
blame for this, so.
Well, indeed. What sort of target have you set for your fundraising?
I think it's 500. I think I've set on it. I put down a time of 2 hours and 15. So I've recently just changed the time now to an hour and a half. So I don't know. That's just what I've got in my head. If I could do it in an hour and a half, I'll be over the moon. Even if I do an hour and 45, 2 hours, I'll still be happy with that. It was just something to have a goal at, to push myself a bit more. I am sort of increasing the speeds over the distances gradually now as well. And I'd always do a longer run on a Sunday morning, usually like 16K, just to keep those longer runs in.
I think for you to get down to that kind of time now is all about hard work, and it's all about quality intervals, strength training, hills. That's the focus now for you. You've progressed really impressively, so well done for that. And look forward to having a chat with you again after Great North, and when you can tell us all about your 130.
We'll see. That's great, Tim. Thanks very much.
All right, thanks for coming on, Stuart. We'll catch up with you again soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this Sapphire Running Zone podcast. Keep checking back as we have lots more podcasts coming soon.